Okay, so this is the entry-level hero camera. So this is the GoPro for the masses. You can see by the packaging, it's quite shallow, so you can really rack and stack them. We'll start with the bad with it. It's quite limited, so there's no Wi-Fi button on the side, so you can't pair it with an app or anything. Now, to keep production costs down, because the retail of this is £110, £109.99, it's integrated into the case. Now, it does give a bit of limitations. So, for example, if your battery runs out, unless you're near a power source or you've got a power pack, you can't recharge it, so filming's open for the day. The other thing is, if for example you score across the case there, or you crack the case, you can't buy a replacement case either. So again, and like I said, there's no Wi-Fi, so it's a lot more of a limited camera. But on the flip side, it's cheap. It goes to 40 meters underwater when it's in the case, so it's still fully waterproof. Still shoots in full HD, so 1080, 30 frames a second. You can do your time lapse, you can take stills with a 5 megapixel camera. And other than the obviously the spare battery and the backpack accessories, so the LCD and also the battery backpack, it'll go on all the mounts and it'll work with most of the accessories as well. So that's your entry-level camera. And then we move on to the premium top camera, which is the 4 Black edition. Now, the key thing with this, which has made it a really exciting product, is that it can shoot in 4K at 30 frames a second. So the camera last year, which was the flagship one, the 3 Plus Black, that could shoot in 4K, but it was only 15 frames a second, so under 24, the brain notices it and it looks a bit jerky. So this is now being used in Hollywood. They're using it in, I know one of the films, they're using it in Fast and Furious 7, where the internal shots are done in the car. But other than that, it's 12 megapixel, it's Wi-Fi, it can shoot in HD at 120 frames a second. One of the February firmware updates, it allows it at standard definition, so at 720 it can actually do 240 frames a second. It will automatically rotate. The features that it's got new as well, we've got night capture, so that's in photo and time lapse only, and you can change the exposure from up to 2 seconds all the way up to a 30-second exposure. So that's fantastic for, say, you're on a road trip or camping, you've got a night sky, you can actually get the stars coming out. You've got the quick capture mode, which is a much more efficient mode. So what you do is, if the camera's off, quick capture's on, you press the shutter button, turn on, start recording, and then when you finish your activity, whatever you want to do, press the shutter button again, and not only will it stop recording, but it will turn off as well. So the only time the battery's running is actually when you're using it for what you want it to do, which is also a key feature that this Hero has as well. This also has that quick capture feature, which even the 3 Plus Black didn't have, so it does have a string to its bow that quite a few of the other cameras don't. It's also got a new feature called highlight tagging, and with the highlight tagging you can do that after filming, or you can do it during filming. But let's say you're filming, something rad happens, you just press the side button and it'll add a tag, and then you go, right, I'll press it again and it'll add another tag, and when you go up to look at your footage on the bar at the bottom, so like on YouTube you've got that red bar, with the GoPro you'll see little orange markers, and what that means is when you go to edit your footage, straight away you can trim and jump those bits off. So if you're on the car home from an activity, you stick the LCD backpack on, or you can add the tags via the app, so you can pair it up. You can start sort of the beginning process of making your edits, so it's just making it easier to get your footage out there. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, there's a lot more it can do. I mean, you can even, with the stills and the video, you can put something called Pro Tune on, and that allows you a lot more adjustability from, you can make it shoot in raw footage, or you can choose the warmth of your footage or your still, change EV compensation, ISO, sharpness. So these cameras, bear in mind they're the size of a matchbox. It's incredible what they can do. So yeah, those are new cameras. Cheers.